Hey, my name is Eric Olson, and today Fox released the new Float X2. This is, of course, an infamous shock platform from Fox because the 2022 Float X2 had some reliability problems, to put it lightly. Fox did some running changes to 2024, and they replaced a bunch of people's shocks for free, but the damage was definitely done. And so Fox has gone back to the drawing board and come up with a completely new design for 2026. And this is it right here. So I've been putting it to the test on my Ibis Ritmo for the past month and a half, and I have been impressed. And most of all, I've had no reliability issues. Obviously, this is not a long-term test, but previously the 2022 X2s would have blown up within this time frame. So we at least know it's a little bit better than the 2022. But yeah, diving into the shock, we've now got a monotube architecture, which previously the X2 was a twin tube, meaning that oil would flow through an outer channel. After passing through the piston, it would recirculate through a different path, versus this monotube design, it circulates through the piston and back through the same way through that piston. That being said, Fox has retained the same four-way adjustability of the previous shock on this new X2, meaning you have high and low speed compression and high and low speed rebound. The high and low speed compression is still up here on the reservoir with Allen key adjustment. You also have the firm climb switch, but the rebound knobs are now tool free and located in the same place down at the base of the shock. Richie, what do you think of the new rebound adjusters?
I can definitely play with them more during the race.
Dangerous.
Dangerous game they're giving me here.
Ride impressions, it feels different than the old shock. I would say it feels a little bit more kind of like the switch from the Grip 2 to the Grip X2, where you can use more damping and get more usable support without that spiky feeling. The off the top is really sensitive on this new shock, and I would compare it to the Vivid that I've tried. It doesn't have the same bypass that the Vivid has, but I think off the top, feel wise, they're both, on par now, which is pretty cool. And the shock is also completely quiet, where the old version had a little bit of kind of a wheeze or a sound at different compression settings. This new one doesn't have that. It's completely quiet. Yeah, I'd say it matches really well, like I said, with the Grip X2 damper. I've been really enjoying it on this Ibis Ritmo. Obviously, the X2 has a large air can, and so it gives you a more linear feel. One of the interesting new updates on the 2026 X2 is the switch to a new volume reducer type. They are now a metric cc unit versus the old imperial measurement cubic inch volume reducers on the old version. These new ones also have different sizes, so you can mix and match. You've got 2cc and 1cc options. You can do a band of 4cc, or you can mix them and get 3cc, or of course you could do 2cc's with two of the smaller bands. So that gives 1cc increments, and that is a little bit more adjustable than the previous X2. I have ended up with 8cc total of volume reduction in here. This is a 230 length shock on an Ibis Ritmo. It's a kind of progressive but not super progressive bike. The shock feels quite linear but similar to the previous X2 in the air spring. I don't know exact volumes, but I would say they're fairly similar. And pressures wise, I'm running maybe a little bit higher on this new shock, and then a similar amount of volume reducers. Overall, yeah, the big news is the shock's updated monotube design, their use of similar seals to the Float X, and yeah, I'm going to keep putting time on this shock and try to give a long-term review once I have more idea of the durability. But for now, the first impression is good. It hasn't blown up in the first month, and yeah, going to keep running it. So stay tuned for a long-term review a little ways down the line.